your Goliath can lead to new levels of thriving. Hi, I'd like to talk to you about never giving up. You see, life is a matter of choice. No matter who you are, where you're from, we all face struggles. We all face challenges in this life. But we each have a choice whether to thrive or shrink back when life's troubles come upon us. How we come out of the struggles is down to us. So I want to talk to you today about thriving through the trials, thriving through the struggles. I want to share some of the things that we can do to help ourselves in the struggle. We have a choice. You choose how you will come out of it. So the first thing you can do is make the decision. Once you see you're heading into a season of trial, or once you find yourself in a season of trial, make a decision at that point about how you want to come out, how you want to come through. Decide from the beginning where you want to end up. You might not know the exact circumstances about how things will end. You might not have the full or the big picture, every piece of the puzzle. That's okay. What you need to decide is, are you going to let this destroy you, or are you going to thrive through it? Are you going to learn from it, or is it going to be another wasted situation in your life that has just taken more out of you? You have a choice. Death and life have been set before us. Life and prosperity, or death and destruction. It is your choice how this ends. You might not know the full circumstance, but you can draw something good out of every situation. You can learn out of every situation, and you can choose to go through things in grace and decide to find the best in the situation, no matter what. It does not matter what we are going through in this life. At some point, we choose, we decide, will I fall to this, or will I rise in the challenge? Number 2, ride the storm and soar. So you've decided that this will not be your death and destruction, but that you choose life, that you will prosper even through this, even if you don't know how. Now, it's time to ride and soar through the storm. You may have had the illustration of the eagle. It is one of the few, if not the only creature that actually looks forward to the storm. As the storm comes, everybody else seeks shelter. Everybody else wants to make sure they avoid it. We want to make sure that we do not get caught in that storm. However, the eagle is said to use it to its advantage. The eagle charges into the eye of the storm and uses the storm to propel itself and fly higher. It doesn't escape the storm. However, it faces it head on. It uses the storm to soar. In the same way, we can either choose to run from the storm when it comes, to try and avoid it, to bury our heads in the sand, or we can choose to use the storm to help us grow. We can choose to see the opportunity in every single situation we find ourselves in, to see the opportunity for growth, to see the opportunity to propel ourselves to new levels, to new heights, in spite of the challenges that we face. Recognize that the storm is for you. This is how the eagle looks at the storm. The storm is not against me. It is actually for me. It can work for my good. It is not meant to destroy me. It is meant to help me grow. And so it's the same with life's struggles, that when the struggles come, if we choose to back away, if we choose to shrink back, we're not allowing ourselves the opportunity to soar, to use those circumstances to help us grow. If, however, we decide to train through that struggle and allow ourselves to grow in that struggle, we will find that we are stronger. Yes, things might not be the same. Yes, things might have changed from how we knew them, from how they were before. However, we will find that we are stronger. We will find that we are better off now than we were before. We may have lost a few things, that's okay. But usually when you ride the storm, you find that you don't regret having done so. And a lot of times we find that some of our biggest struggles, we actually come out of them thinking, that was so tough. But do you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world, because of what I've gained, because of what I've gained from the struggle, because of the growth I've made, because of who I am today, or the knowledge that I have as a result of having gone through that. So this is what going through the trials can do. It takes you to that place where you can say, I wouldn't be the person I am right now. I wouldn't be where I am. I would not be where I am right now if I hadn't gone through those struggles. We've all heard the story of David and Goliath. Goliath propelled David by facing that challenge, by taking on that challenge, by not shying away from it, by choosing to come out of it stronger, by choosing to take the challenge and come out better. What Goliath did was propel David into kingship. It was to propel him into a higher level, into the next level from where he actually was. And without having overcome Goliath, there is so much in his kingship, there is so much in his kingship that he could not have been, he could not have become. There is so much that he could not have become. His people recognized him from that battle with Goliath. He gained respect even from his own family. He gained respect through that battle. And a lot of us, we go through situations in life that really gain us respect from the people around us. Sometimes it might be financial gains. It might be that it opens up our lives to new doors of new possibilities. It might be that we find that, okay, I've lost my job. Okay, I've lost this, I've lost that. But do you know what? There are greater opportunities ahead of me as a result. Or I find that if a situation that I felt was my storm hadn't come my way, perhaps this new door that is now my life, perhaps this new door that is now something I can benefit from, something that is a blessing to me, perhaps that wouldn't have been opened. So recognize that your Goliath can lead to your miracle. It can lead to new doors. It can lead to a new path. It can lead to new levels of thriving. So don't back off. Don't shy away from the storm. Decide how you will come out of it. Decide to come out of it in strength. Choose to thrive through it. Number 3, we don't need to know the path. We don't need to have a full picture of the end. We just need to know that we will come out of this better off. We will come out of this stronger. That this will work for my good, no matter what it looks like. We are not always given the full picture. We don't always have the full picture of where our trials will lead us. We don't always know the exact detail of how something will end, but we can choose that it will end in our victory. It will end in our good. It will end for the best for us. We are not always given the full picture, but that in itself is never a reason for us to give up. It's never a reason for us to shrink back. It is our job to keep going. It is our job to press forward regardless of the challenge. No success story has ever come without trials. No success story has ever come without any tribulation. There is no testimony without a test. And you can go back to the old stories of Ruth, of David, of Esther. You can go back to the old stories that we read about that are just as relevant today as they were back then. And you can look at the modern stories of the people that we see every day. You can look at the stories of the Steve Harveys, Mark Wahlberg, Halle Berry, you name them, modern stories or past stories, all of them will have struggles in them. And the common thread in all these stories is that at one point they had to make a decision. Will they allow this situation to be their destruction, or will they get up and push forward in the hopes that they will come out strong, in the hopes that they will thrive regardless of what they're facing now? When their lives appeared to hit rock bottom, they all chose to get up and keep fighting. They all chose to get up and keep moving. Even if they couldn't see the full picture of the puzzle, even if they didn't have every single piece of the puzzle right there, they had to make the decision to get up and keep going. There will be times in life where you cannot see beyond the next step, and that's okay. You are only called to trust that it will work out, to have faith and take another step forward. Take the next step forward. Number 4, allow the storm to work for you. Your perspective is absolutely important. So as you go through that storm, do not lose sight of that. Keep your perspective right. Allow the storm to work for your good. We are told that God causes all things to work together for good for those who love Him. And it is up to us to allow that to happen and become the reality in our lives. And we do so by walking in that truth. Shrinking back during the time of the storm will not allow us to see or experience that. So I hope you found this video helpful. I'll be interested to hear your stories about how perspective helped you through a struggle, through one of life's storms. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time, thanks for watching.